We're watching Breakfast Television. Something Borrowed with Kate Hudson comes out on DVD and Blu-ray on the 16th of August. So we thought, let's bring in a relationship expert. We have Kimberly Moffit here with us, a psychotherapist and a relationship expert. In the movie, it's about relationships. Somebody falls in love with somebody maybe they shouldn't.
Exactly. So this movie is all about relationships, and I think it's a little bit complicated because we find our main character, who's Rachel, and she's played by Jennifer Goodwin in the film, and she ends up falling for the one guy that she probably shouldn't, and that's her best friend Darcy, who's played by Kate Hudson, her fiance. So it's really, really tricky, and you know, as we find out, it actually turns out to be something very real. So I mean, the whole story is a very complicated story about her, what she goes through during this time, and how the friendship survives, and all of those tricky little things.
Well, this happens in real life all the time, and this is something maybe we should try not to do.
You know what? My best advice is that there are girl codes, there are bro codes, as you call them, and I think that we should never really go beyond those things. We should know that it's not okay to fall for our best friend's fiance, but at the same time, there's always an exception, and the truth is we never really know where or when we're going to find love.
We can't help who we fall in love with. Now let's talk about relationships and when we should stay and when we should go.
Well, that's one of the big questions that I get as a relationship expert all the time. People will say, my spouse did this, my spouse did that. Should I stay or should I go? And I believe that it's really an individual thing. So we need to check in with our own code of ethics and say, what feels good for me in the relationship and what am I willing to stand for? And if something feels wrong in your gut, that's probably a sign that it's time to go.
What about getting therapy?
Getting therapy is a wonderful tool for people who think that their relationship might not last.
I think so too, because I always think, I always think I'm right. And I'm sure my husband always thinks that he's right too. But when you have somebody else looking at a situation and saying, actually, you might be being a little bit hard on him, then I would rethink it and go, oh, okay, somebody else told me that.
Very true. And somebody, like from the outside, can say, maybe nobody's right or wrong, but both of you are communicating in a way that makes the other person be defensive. So it's somebody to help you kind of get in there and communicate more effectively, because in any marriage and relationship, you're going to be kind of going through ups and downs. And sometimes we get in a rut where we're not communicating properly, and we're feeling out of sync, and that's really, really normal in any relationship.
Now, we were also chatting about women who find themselves being very picky, and then later in life going, wow, I said no to all these great guys, I was so picky.
Right. Well, one of the big mistakes I think young people are making these days is that they're becoming so picky about who they choose as a partner. They're saying they need to have all of these statistics. They need to have a perfect job, perfect hair, perfect clothes, perfect, very handsome guy, right? They want the whole package. And so they're waiting until, they're in their late 30s, late 40s, and even 50s to find that perfect guy.
You're not telling them to settle, though.
No, absolutely not. That's definitely not what I'm suggesting.
But maybe not be so picky, right?
Right. And I'm saying they're expecting their relationship is going to be perfect because they found the perfect person. And that's just not the way life works. It doesn't matter who you're with.
Something Borrowed is out on DVD and Blu-ray on the 16th. So we're giving away copies right now.
Perfect.
So for your chance to win